There are many interesting and different vehicles on the island of Sodor. Harvey has a crane, Hugo has a big powerful propeller, and Glyn is a special coffee pot engine. And then there is Skiff, who is a white wooden boat with a blue hull who could travel on both rails and in water. He usually gives visitors tours around Alsborough Harbour with his captain Joe, but sometimes he likes to explore the coast that goes to Tidmouth whenever he and Captain Joe aren't busy. That evening, Skiff and Captain Joe returned to the harbour after a long day of exploring the coast. Just then, Duck was passing by with his last load of passengers for the day. The next morning, Skiff and Captain Joe were sailing back to Tidmouth Beach. The waves were gentle enough for Skiff to sail on. By the time they arrived at Tidmouth Beach, Skiff noticed something rather unusual in the sand. As Skiff returned to his rails in Alsborough, the first engine he asked was Daisy, the diesel rail car. Later, Skiff and Captain Joe went to Alsborough Junction where Ivor was waiting for his trucks of ballast to be loaded. By the time Skiff arrived at Knapford, Thomas and Toby were there, dropping off their last load of passengers for the day, and Tilly was getting done shunting in the yards, and were also surprised to see Skiff. As Thomas, Percy and Toby left Knapford, and as Tilly left to continue shunting, Skiff was about to go back to Alsborough when Ginty and Pug came rushing in with red cheeks on their faces. Just then, an idea flew into Skiff's hull. That evening, Skiff and Captain Joe stopped at Tidmouth Beach on the rails, followed by Ginty, Pug and the Fat Controller. The next morning, Atlas brought the cranes to lift Bulstrode out of the sand and onto their flatbeds for his trip to the works for his restoration. Soon, Bulstrode was restored and was back at work. This time, instead of carrying stones, he was helping Ginty and Pug and Donald with their jobs at their harbour. Even though he can still lose his temper at times, Bulstrode was happy to be useful again.